Tempered glass and ultrasonic fingerprint scanners, always a problem. Some work, some don't. This video we'll find out the one which works. So in this video we're going to test out two different screen protectors, one gloss and one matte finish. This one's a matte finish. It's a company called Zag which made this. There's no brand name mentioned in this. I'm guessing it's one of those companies which just buys these in bulk and then renames and sells it on Amazon. So this one's about $1,500 and it did say the fingerprint touch sensor will work. So that's the reason I picked this up, and it's matte finish. So I really love to have a screen guard which has a matte finish on it. So yeah, all kinds of things written on this, 9H hardness and how to use it, no scratches, apparently very strong 9H hardness. It's what most of these screen guards mention on them. But my main concern was the ability for the fingerprint scanner to work, and that's one of the things which I've noticed that most of the phone shops say that if you add a tempered glass, it doesn't really work. So this phone actually lost its main screen because it fell off from the car's magnetic holder onto the gearbox console and cracked the screen. So I had to get one of these to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So when you open these boxes, you get the same standard accessory. You get a cleaning kit. You have the screen itself, which is kept in this polyurethane cover. And this is the matte finish screen. So you can see that it's pretty clear. There's no tags actually telling you to remove it once it's fixed. That's because it's got a film on the inner part of the screen, but you'll have to peel it off. And I just want to show you how this is going to look. Of course, this has a slight glow on it, even though it's a matte finish. It's a matte screen protector without the matte texture on it. So it's still got the glassy feel on the outside. And it's also got a cutout for the front camera, which is great. So these UV glue based tempered screen glass protectors apparently work with the fingerprint sensor for some reason, and they always send you this 3 LED or a 4 LED light kit, UV light kit, which needs to work along with the glue. And the glue is given in this small little console over here. So this is glue which hardens up when it comes in contact with UV light. So that's how it actually works on any of your phones. So yeah, this is all you get. And I just want to show you how the the UV light works. So let me put this on. So yeah, that's apparently the light. Make sure you don't look at this directly. And also this has got a dual interface. So it has a micro USB input as well. So in case you have a micro USB, you can use it on the other side. And always, whenever you're using these screen protectors that use glue, I would recommend to use a masking tape on all those surfaces where you think the glue can get in and clog up your speaker grills or including your buttons. So make sure that you use masking tape generously on all the sides. I've heard people losing their S Pens because they're stuck inside the phone, and this glue hardens up, and it's probably going to damage it. So do not take a chance. Use masking tape wherever possible, including your power buttons and volume rockers. And of course, with every kit you also get this nice little packaging which includes some sort of a cleaning kit along with dust absorbing stickers. You have a small cleaning cloth. That cleaning cloth has become really small ever since I've seen screen protectors been given to us. It's really tiny, this little microfiber cloth. So you with any screen installation, you have to make sure that you have no dust around you. And I did notice that it is relatively difficult to get a dust-free room. So make sure that you kind of settle down, don't move anything around. And once you do that, you can use this dust absorbing sticker to kind of pull out some of these specks of dust when you can see them using a light source. And this is the layer of film protection I said, which is there inside your screen guard. I'm going to open up this glue and pour it on the phone. Now, lessons learned for me, this is the first time I'm doing it. So make sure that whenever you pour this on your phone, make sure that the phone is level on the table surface. If not, the glue is going to flow across, or it's going to ruin your tabletop or anything else that is there. This is what happened to me. So I had to actually hold the phone so that I balance this glue in the center of the phone. It's supposed to be one blob in the center. Some people use 3 blobs, but I just wanted to see what happened if I use just one blob right in the middle. So I had to balance this out. So I had to use whatever was available around me. I couldn't even get up from my table. So yeah, this is a good tip for you guys. So make sure that your phone is level. You can even use water before you use glue just to see if your phone is actually level, and then use this. So I had to use all these small bits of papers to actually balance the phone out, and all I had to do was just drop this screen protector on. Now make sure that you see there are no dust particles, because that will kind of make the screen stick out. Once you're absolutely sure, just all you have to do is, they say that you have to just drop this on your phone. And that's what I did. Fingers crossed. And I did see glue spilling from the sides of the phone. So maybe I used a little more than required. But it was magical to see this whole thing, move across the screen on both sides. I'm speeding this up so that you can see it, And I was also worried about the front camera cutout, whether that's going to have glue. But it doesn't actually, work in areas where there's no screen in contact. So maybe that's the reason they don't actually give you tapes to protect your speaker grills, because the glue doesn't really go there. But I did notice spillover on the sides. So just be prepared for that. And they also advise leaving this on for about a minute and a half, so that the glue completely settles down. And for you, the best part is there's nothing to worry, because nothing is going to harden up unless you switch on that UV light. So the sad thing was I did not switch off my phone, and I was really curious to see if my fingerprint will work. And this is even before I used the glue, and it did not respond. So I was like, okay, maybe it's going to work once everything is fixed. So I kind of started, hoping that it'll work. So I used the UV lamp, and I started doing the routine. Basically, you're supposed to run it across a minute on all sides initially, so that it just starts hardening up a little bit. And you can still set the glass if it's not centered properly. So this process does take a lot of time. So you've got to spend about a minute and a half, 2 minutes all across the phone. I'm speeding this up again. I also saw some videos online which showed them adding a little bit of weight where the fingerprint sensor is installed, so that it has additional weight, so that there's more bonding between the screen and the screen guard. I tried all this, and the glue had actually dried up. And then, unfortunately, for my existing fingerprints, there was no reaction. The screen guard looks nice. I like the matte finish. There's no reflection, but there is no response from any of the fingerprints that I already have added to the phone. Now, there was still some hope left. I just thought that maybe, these are already fingerprints that I've added before adding the screen guard. Now, what if I try it with new fingerprints? Now, that's the only hope I had left. So I tried adding new fingerprints on. Guess what? They did not work. I was a little taken back, because now I had to live with this phone without the fingerprint sensor working. I didn't even check anything else on the phone, not even how the screen looks and how, the feel of touch works on the phone, because my main thing was the fingerprint sensor should work. And it did say on the Amazon listing that it will work. However, the screen guard itself is nice. The touch response is good. I tried increasing the sensitivity of the touch so that, it could probably activate the fingerprint sensor, but it did not have any effect on this phone. But the phone screen looks amazing with this matte finish. So in case you're looking for a matte finish without fingerprint sensor, this Zag screen protector is good. Now, in case you're wondering, this is a case-friendly screen protector. So they have taken into account that some of these cases can actually bump into your screen protector. So this is a UAG case which has got lips all around the screen, and it works fine. So there's no problem with that. Removing the screen, I thought it's going to be a nightmare, but I just tried to peel it off with my hands. I did use a knife for some time, and it seemed to be pretty easy to remove, and there was no residue on the screen at all. So all I had to do was just lever it up from one of the corners, and it just came off, and there was absolutely nothing on the screen. So I was really happy for that, at least, so that there was no damage on the current screen. So in case you're wondering about that, there's no issue with that. So let's jump on to the next one which I got. So this one's called Casecandy, and again, got it from Amazon. It has clearly mentioned that the fingerprint sensor will work. It's got good ratings, and I think they have tried their best to kind of tell you that there is some sort of warranty with this in 3 months, if I'm not wrong. And it's also got a lot of support on it. I mean, they're trying to portray that, they are ready to help you even if you have issues installing it. So they have some videos. I saw all this on Amazon and then I decided to order. So it comes in this packaging with this nice box. So you can see that they seem to be very customer friendly. They've left their numbers here, installation guide, and a lot of things inside. So yeah, this installing the screen guard with this liquid glue can be a challenge for a lot of people if they don't do it in a shop. So that's the reason people try to help you a lot, and I think this is a good step in that direction. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, so there seems to be a screen guard and the accessories inside this protective shell. So let's see what's inside. Okay, so I can tell you it's the similar kind of kit which you get with other screen protectors. So a cleaning kit, a little bit of glue in this small little tubing with a knob so that you can release the glue. It says 1 minute glue. So yeah, and here is the screen guard, and look at the difference in this one. So this one's got a protective cover on the outside, and I can also see the peel off stickering, which is pretty useful for you to realize where you got to remove the protective covering. So the light looks a little different. This one's a white one, and it's only got one USB-C input, and it works fine. So now, since I've already done this once, it's so much easier for me to work on this one. So you have the wet wipes where you just run your screen through with that and make sure that it's absolutely clean to look at. So everything has got a little bit smaller than how it was previously. For my S10 Galaxy, for example, I should see that they should throw in 2 or 3 wet wipes, but now it's just one small pack. So once you make sure that your screen is absolutely clear, drop the glue in the middle. So this time I don't want to put one blob because I know it overflowed on the side. So I'm going to put it on 3 different places. And this one works a little different because it's just a drop in glue from the top. So yeah, I added a little bit in the center and then 2 more drops on the other side. That's all I want to do. And removing every other speck of dust which I can see. And let's drop the screen on this one. The placement is not important at this point of time because the glue will not harden up till you run the UV light. So that's the best part about these screen guards, which don't come with self-adhesive glue on it. So you can always move this around. And as I mentioned, you got to leave it on for some time before this covers up all the edges. I did notice that one side of this Casecandy screen guard, the glue just wouldn't move to the edge. So I was a little worried because maybe I put a little less glue than required. And I also saw some aberrations on the part where the camera is actually installed. But I'll tell you what, I left it on for some time and it actually worked fine. So there was nothing after some time, and then I started the UV process immediately because I just thought, okay, I already done this before, so no problems. No glue this time, nothing leaked out on any of the sides, which was amazing. And I took off the protective tape. Like I mentioned, I always use masking tape so that nothing flows into the screen grills or the buttons or your S Pen. So make sure that you have that handy. And once you remove everything, I noticed there was a little bit of glue, but not a lot like the last time. So maybe you can use the 3-drop technique, 3 blobs, sorry, not the drops. And then once you do that, make sure that you run the UV light thoroughly on all sides once you're absolutely sure that it's fine. And this time I switched off my phone. And you can see some aberrations there, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. My main concern is the fingerprint sensor. And this one's a gloss finish. Not a big fan of gloss, but there was nothing else available in matte. And it did not work. So yes. So this is the second time I'm putting a second screen guard, and this one too did not work. Now these were fingerprints that I added before adding the screen guard. So now let's see if it works if you add a new fingerprint on this one. I tried this on the matte finish, it did not work. And surprisingly, it did recognize my fingerprints. That was such a relief. The matte finish screen guard did not even recognize my fingerprint. So here, you can actually add a new fingerprint once you install this new screen guard, and it seems to be working fine. I was so happy and relieved. So this is also a case-friendly screen guard, and it works well with the UAG case, which has got a thick lip on all sides, so it works fine. And this is after using it for 3-4 days. I noticed that there's no air gap or nothing which is coming off the phone screen whatsoever. Absolutely fine. I've also used it along with water sometimes, and nothing seems to be a problem so far. So holding up well, this Casecandy screen guard for your S23 Ultra is highly recommended because the fingerprint scanner works fine. It is case friendly, and I think there's no problem with the quality of the screen either. Hope you liked the review on this one. Thank you so much for watching rTech. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.